I'm Myke Shrews,
And I'm Tivis.
and you're listening to
The Munster Cast.
episode 69, dudes.
Nice.
Welcome back, everybody, to the MUNSTERCAST, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, please, Tivis, tell everybody out there what's been up.
I'm at like 2 frames a second again, but other than that, I'm fine. Why does this happen every week?
Internet lags. It's been lagging at my house, too, for some reason. I'm surprised that I'm actually still here with you right now.
Yeah,
right.
I'm surprised for other reasons, but you've gone in almost a year without an injury. Are you scared?
No, I'm fucked up right now. My ankle, remember?
Oh, shit, yeah.
I got the Achilles thing going on. And I didn't even do anything for that. I just woke up. Old age. I got old.
We're hoping to go to the drive-in tonight, which, if you have a local drive-in near you, go. They're fun. They're such a blast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so many of them closed, too. It sucks. Especially up north where you are, man. Like, barely any of them stay alive anymore because...
shockingly, Ohio has had, like, the most, so...
Yeah.
We're going to also have the most closed out of anyone.
Yeah. There's a piece of land here that you can tell used to be an old drive-in, and I've been tempted to buy it just to turn it into a drive-in again. But then that requires also to have the money to do so. So I'm like, well, okay, never mind.
Yeah, they announced they overhauled the sound system because they were still using the original that's been there for decades. So I'm curious how good it sounds now.
Well, didn't they just use your speakers, right?
Yeah, but it was failing. Apparently, it's been pretty bad for like a couple weeks now, and people have been very upset.
Gotcha. Yeah, I miss the drive-ins where, like, I mean, it's cool that they did the for people who don't know about drive-ins, which I hope a lot of people out there do that listen. Back in the day, it was just this little speaker that you would pull off a pole and sit onto your window of your car, and that's how you would listen to the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Audio was probably trash for most of the time. But then they started adapting the whole, using like an AM station to get the audio directly into your sound system in your car. Again, sometimes trash because it was like a giant Bluetooth basically that didn't really work very well a lot of times, especially as technology advanced and their technology did not. Yeah. Anyways, let's dive on into this stuff.
All right.
You can find the MUNSTERCAST on all social media platforms. That is Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter, all via the MUNSTERCAST. You can also find our pretty ugly faces on YouTube via youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. You can also check out... Oh, geez. You can also check out our website at TheMunsterCast.com. And you can... over there, you guys, you can find all of our content, video, audio, and written stuff as well, and guest pages. We even have a Munsters Today page specifically, so it breaks down like what the Munsters Today was, a little brief history of it. There's even a tab in there that has a bunch of random photos and stuff from the Munsters Today episodes. Right now, it's 1 through 12 is up there. Pictures from episodes 1 through 12. More will be on the way, so definitely check that out. It's a great way to just find some photos and share them along the internets. You can also click a little microphone icon on the website and leave us a voicemail, and we can play it on the podcast. So let us know, guys. You can also go to TheMunsterCast.com/merch and pick up one of these awesome tees I am wearing right now. Let's back the team of Munster and Dracula, or any other Munster shirt that we have on there. All of these were made and curated for you guys, the Munster fans out there. I tried to do my best to make sure that they were something that you just couldn't find everywhere for sure. You can also email us at themunstercast@outlook.com. That is themunstercast@outlook.com, everybody. Send us in your Munster stories, why you love the Munsters, all that fun stuff. And then just let us know if you would like us to share or not share within the email itself. All right. Do this.
And we also have our Patreon, as always, more of a tip jar than anything else. You want to help support the show, keep it, because again, podcasting ain't free. But more importantly, if you join our Lester's Next Big Investment, you get access to our Discord, where we are trying to build a inclusive community for everyone who enjoys any form of the Munsters, whether you like it all or a certain part. You can come join. And you can also check out the Munster Today episodes. We are continuing to upload them on there for ease of anyone who joins. But more importantly than that, we have reviews and ratings on your podcatchers and on YouTube. You can comment. All this stuff helps the show way more than anything else. Tell a friend. Let us know how we're doing. As we've always said, whether you like us, whether you don't, let us know. Give us some critical feedback, and that helps us improve.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, guys. I think that's all we got right now.
Well, there is one more.
Oh yeah. So they have also released, as we've previously been saying, the last couple weeks, they have released the Munsters Today on the Internet Archive website. So you can go over there and check it out. We have a pretty link for you guys. It is themunstercast.com/watch the Munsters Today. All one word, of course. And you can go over there and check out all 72 episodes of the Munsters Today that were aired on TV. And you'll be seeing them in basically the exact same format that we've been watching them in, anyways. And if you want to watch the unaired pilot, you can just swing on over again to youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast, where we uploaded it a few months back. And then you can check it out there, guys.
And it's relevant to today's episode.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, what are we talking about today, Myke?
We are talking about Two Left Feet, which aired March 11th, 1989. On this episode of The Munsters Today. Yeah. On this episode, we have no synopsis because I was lame. I wrote a lot of notes, but I didn't write any synopsis. I'm so stupid.
Right, another winger. Let's go.
And I literally said last week on the episode, I'm gonna write a synopsis for this episode. Stupid Mike past me. Why did past me have to talk? All right, here we go, guys. Two Left Feet aired March 11th, 1989. On this episode of The Munsters Today, I don't know. A lot of stuff happened in this episode, but I'm not sure what the main premise was. So we'll just go with, as the Munsters are preparing for is it a
dance?
It's a dance, but it's
charity.
It's charity dance. Yes, thank you. As the Munsters prepare for a charity dance, Marilyn is asked out by her crush Dustin. And chaos ensues. I don't fucking know. Just figure it out. Just go watch the episode. Right. You're gonna hear about it in a second.
Two Left Feet, Season 1, Episode 18, Episode 88 of Munsters overall. As Myke has said multiple times, March 11th, 89. Written by Ann L. Gibbs and Joe Kimmel. Now, if those sound familiar, it's because this is Ann's third of 4 episodes and last of Season 1. And this is Joel's second of 3 episodes. This is last of Season 1 for him as well.
Okay.
And it was directed by Peter Isaac. Again, another person that you should probably recognize by now, because this is the 6th of 13 episodes that this guy did. And we will be seeing him again next week. So our guest cast this week are Mary Carteret as Dee Dee Nelson, which you may remember her from the first episode of the show during the cooking competition where she returns to the Munsters house. That's right. This episode is aired out of order, and I'm going to get that out of the way right now. This chronologically takes place before anything else because Marilyn has been dating Dustin this entire season.
Yeah.
I thought we were done with this, but anyway, we'll get into that later. Next up, we got Greg Mullavey as Roger Nelson. Now, this is his first appearance, but he will be back along with Mary and Scott as Dee Dee and Dustin for one more episode. And I was looking at Greg's IMDb list here, which again, we have learned repeatedly, IMDb not full, but the first credit he's got here is 1964 for Gomer Pyle USMC. It's some, he's done a couple of military things very early in his career. Gomer kind of just makes me laugh because of the Scrubs joke.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm looking through his stuff right now. I will say this right now before Mike notices. He played Grandpa Shay in iCarly, including reprising it for the new series, which my wife and I are enjoying so much.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else was he on here? Jackie Gleason Show. The Mary Tyler Moore Show. He appeared once. Bonanza. Hawaii Five-0. Medical Center. Marcus Welby. He was on a couple episodes of that. Bronk. Okay, that's a new one for me. The heck is Bronk? Tough but incorruptible police detective Alex Bronkov. So they shortened it to Bronk. Okay. Wow, 325 episodes of Mary Hartman. 130 episodes of Forever Fernwood. Yeah, so this guy has quite the long list of career. He was on an episode of Magnum PI. 7 episodes of Rituals. He was on an episode of Matlock. And yeah, as I said, with his wife and son, he will be back for one more episode at least. And that's all that's sticking out to me on his list. But not on IMDb. This episode also has Richard Stephen Horowitz returning as Howie.
Yeah, that was in my notes. I was like, what the hell, dude? How's Howie not on IMDb? And how is you? Because show the man some respect and say his name, internet. I mean, this is freaking what? Invader Zim, Alpha like
5.
Freaking, come on, man. Yeah. I was surprised because he's not even on there for the pilot either.
No, he's not.
So I don't know what if they just dropped the ball or
someone totally dropped the ball.
Or maybe he just didn't want to be associated with it or something. I don't know.
As far as I know, you don't get a choice in what you're credited in IMDb.
I don't know.
People just connect your name. But why wouldn't he? Because from the little snippet we got of Howie in this episode, I can't wait to see him again because I know for a fact he does come back.
Because this is reprising the same role from the pilot, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think when we talked about the pilot, I talked about that the guy that was in it. Oh boy, what was his name?
The other gentleman?
Yeah. I think I mentioned that he got split into 2 characters. I may have been a little confused that of Roger and Dustin, the father-son here.
Gotcha. You're not the only person who's ever confused on IMDb.
Well, no, that information is not on IMDb. That's why I got confused.
Okay.
Let's see. We talked about that episode 49. Yeah, so his name was Mr. Preston. So, yeah.
Okay.
So that's all I got for the cast and stuff. Shall we jump into this unless you got anything else?
I'm trying to make sure everything else I believe is just within the episode. So let's dive on in.
All right. So we open with Grandpa and Herman holding golf clubs, and Grandpa telling Herman to watch the pro. He then puts the ball in a hole with a skull on it. And
They're
it's
doing
Herman's
putt-putt.
turn. Yeah,
It's a house version of putt-putt. Yeah.
Herman whacks it out of existence. But then Eddie comes in carrying it, yelling like an old newspaper seller about a golf ball smashing a house, which is not the first time we've seen this in this series, if you remember.
No.
Yeah, because Herman knocked it all over the house until it landed in Grandpa's ear twice in the classic show.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Because they
Yeah.
also did like the whole kitchen thing, right? Like right around the house and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, but so let's see. Yeah, Herman gives Eddie the nickel and asks for a paper, but Eddie tells him he doesn't have any papers, but he's keeping this nickel.
It's like, there's
Smart
no
kid.
paper, but thanks for the nickel, though.
Yep. He's trying to find a nasty article for the school paper. Grandpa tells him he was a big-time writer for Transylvania Tribune. Why am I having trouble with that word? And Herman can't recall ever seeing his name on any articles, but Grandpa turns around. I was a ghostwriter. So Grandpa's probably just lying here.
A lot of people say that they're ghostwriters and they don't write anything at all. They're just like, yeah, I ghostwrite for something. What do you ghostwrite for? I can't tell you. My NDA, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
You
what's
could
his
tell
name?
me.
Shoot, what's his name? The James Patterson, who puts out like 20 books a year. There's no way he doesn't use ghostwriters. So just say you work for him.
Lots of people use ghostwriters, and if they're not using them for the majority of the writing, they're using them for their drafts, like their editing of it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they would just be considered an editor, but still.
Yeah.
The ghostwriters sometimes add some stuff in. So I would consider them a partial writer if they're adding.
Yeah, I just that dude's getting up in age, and I refuse to believe that he writes as many books as he does on his own.
Well, maybe he just tells stories into a microphone that types it up for him.
For over 20 years?
Yeah, why not?
Go look at how many books that guy has released. It's insane. All right, so
Anyways.
Eddie asks for advice on how to find good stories, and Grandpa says, "Why don't you go check the graveyard? You're bound to dig up interesting stuff there." So Eddie starts heading out, and Grandpa tells him, "Hey, pass along our regards to everyone."
And then
Marilyn.
a weird ass scene happens, and I am so confused at first. Marilyn walks in, snorting her ass off like a freaking pig.
The only way I could describe it is hysterics.
I couldn't tell if she was crying or laughing or having a stroke. I just couldn't
excited.
Tell. It was interesting. Let's just say that.
Yeah. So Eddie's just like, so what's his name?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, Dustin Nelson. And at this point, I'm like, isn't Dustin the guy she's been dating for the past like 17 episodes?
That's what I thought, unless it's just a different Dustin.
No, it's the exact same one. And here's where we can get into it now.
Tivis, maybe she's double D'ing. Double Dustining.
Oh, like the mom DD. So I really thought at this point shows were over this of airing stuff out of order. But maybe I should have known better, because even season 7 of Scrubs, which aired in the later half of the 2000s, aired out of order.
Dude, there was just some Star Trek that even did that. Like when they weren't telling a connective story, they even did that. You could tell because they would reference something. I'd be like, wait, what the fuck are they talking about?
This annoys me so much. If they
And
ever do release a box set, I hope they correct this, even though they probably won't, because most
no,
shows don't. But just why? Why is it out of order?
yeah, but you're missing the point of this scene. It's retarded. She's just like
Mm,
crazy. I know you don't like that word. I'm sorry, Tivis.
but society don't like that word.
Well, society is
A bad movie. So
um
yeah,
but no, it was so weird. I was like, I don't understand what's the
yeah,
maybe
they
I,
they have Hillary snort so much, but it
it's
does have a
so
payoff. Because
yeah, yeah.
Eddie mentions that he's loving her pig impressions before he finally leaves.
Yeah, doesn't he say something about Marilyn Munster does great pig impressions? Like that's what he was gonna put into the
Eh,
newspaper, whatever he was writing.
Hillary's acting during this because she stops just
Yeah,
everything, deadpan stares at him, and is the most amazing look.
yeah.
Oh man, just the slow head turn, like I will kill you.
We get we
Yeah.
get we get a couple of those like deadpan like turns of the head in this episode, which is kind of cool. Not all of them are for the same reasoning, but
Hmm.
yeah, we get a couple of them, which is kind of cool. Um, so then
Yeah.
I was gonna say Hillary. Then Marilyn walks out of the room, and we cut to the next scene, which is Herman and Lily sitting on the couch going through envelopes, and
We got
Herman.
did you notice the look between Herman and Grandpa as Marilyn's leaving the room though? Like,
No,
fuck.
probably the same look everybody watching it live
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
what
what the fuck is going
that's
on?
exactly how I felt was on my face during all this. Because she just, as soon as Eddie leaves, she goes right back into
Back
it.
into it. Yeah. Like she can't control her emotions. Like
Which, as a
that's the
16-year
sound
old,
that's the sound bite somebody's gonna take, by the way, just so you know. Me saying she can't control her emotions.
she's a 16-year-old girl. She's not expected to.
um
16-year-old boys can't even do that.
yeah,
No teenager can. That's
I
why
was
they're
gonna
moody.
say I don't think any kids can, really. That's the whole idea. You're learning still.
Yeah.
Us half the adults in this world can't control them. Anyways, let's
No, I
move
know I
on.
can't. I can't.
I
Listeners
know
can
you
tell you I
can't.
can't.
I know you can't.
All right.
So
So what's
we
going on
go
with Lily
to
and Herman?
Lily and Herman. They're going through envelopes, and they're Lily's packing them, and Herman is licking them all. And
Mm-hmm.
she goes to talk to him, but he's like,
Yeah. How many have we done? Ew. He's got severe dry mouth.
so she has to shout out for is it
Marilyn.
Eddie or Marilyn? Marilyn?
Yeah.
Marilyn to
Fetch a
bring
pail of water, and you just
yeah,
hear off screen. Okay.
and she literally gets like a pail of water. And her
Yeah, she does.
outfit this episode, by the way, Marilyn's outfit, she comes in with the pail. She is like straight up
80s.
80s,
Mm-hmm.
like hardcore. Like it's like, stonewash jean jacket and skirt even. Not pants, but just like a stonewash skirt too. I was like, this is so 80s, and now my wife would look so hot in that.
So I'm
I'm
gonna
an
get back to
80s
this.
person.
Uh, Lily's excited about the dance they're putting on to save the medieval museum. And that's when Marilyn comes in with the pail of water as Herman begins drinking it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
and she just starts. God, go ahead,
who we talking about?
Marilyn. The weird thing she does here.
What does she do here?
She just starts saying Dustin's name repeatedly behind the couch.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
And
Lily's
she
like,
just keeps saying she walks around the couch and she says, "Dustin, Dustin, Dustin, Dustin," and like doing these weird hand gestures too. And then, yeah, like you said, Lily's like, maybe it's time we talk to her about the buzzards and the beetles.
mm-hmm.
And Herman's like, what? And we get this awesome spot. And like, so she whispers into Herman's ear like what she's talking about. And the look on his face when he blows the smoke out of his ears, but he gets this like, like, like I don't know a way to say it without
Basically,
yeah,
he's like, instead of doing that, let's just go upstairs.
yeah. He does this like tightens the lips like thing, and then he looks down, and then he looks over at her like, He gives her this like that weird Frankenstein sexy look.
But Marilyn wants to talk to Lily woman to woman. So
But then
get out,
if
Herman.
I don't know if you noticed this because I wrote it down as a note. After that scene,
Mm-hmm.
we look over to Marilyn, and Herman just gives her that look like, all right, you need to leave because I need my wife.
Yeah, that's what so we should just go upstairs instead.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then this is where she's like, oh yeah, I need to talk to you, Aunt Lily. And
so Lily tries to get rid of Herman. Okay, don't you have anything to do? No. Well, okay, we want privacy.
He was looking at the thing he needed to do, Tivis. His wife.
Oh, why do you girls get to have all the fun? All boys talk about our cars and body parts.
No, he says a bunch of like names for car parts, and then
yeah, I summarized it though because I'm not a car
but he
person.
was referencing like the carburetors and stuff are part of body parts. That's what he was saying.
Oh,
Because of his body or whatever. Yeah. Anyway. Um. And then they finally get rid of Herman, so we can
yeah,
dive
he's
into
gonna
that.
go water the crabgrass reluctantly.
Water the crabgrass.
Or do they?
Crabgrass.
So, yeah, Marilyn asked Lily if she dated a lot of boys before Herman. So Lily looks, is Herman gone? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I once dated this guy, the sheriff of Nottingham, while he was still a beat cop. So that's when Herman returns.
This is messed up right away.
He's hiding behind a painting.
Yeah. Literally standing in the middle of the room, walking into the room with a painting.
He just takes a step.
And he just has the painting covering his head area with eyes cut out.
I did notice the eyes until way later, but that made me laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, Marilyn's like, "What do you talk about on a date?" And he's like, "Well, just talk, be yourself. Talk about the stuff you would normally talk about." And great advice. Like seriously, if you can't find someone that you can just be yourself around, I mean, once you stop pretending to be someone else, they're not going to like you as much. That's the honest truth about it.
You hear that, kids? You hear that, kids? Stop doing what the music tells you and just be yourself. Anyways,
yeah,
and then she keeps looking over at Herman. She's like, if you're gonna keep eavesdropping, you can eavesdrop behind the couch much better.
Yeah, thank you. So both of them just laugh it off.
Yeah,
and they just attempted hiding.
Yeah, and then he just joins in the conversation.
Oh, and I can't tell if this might have been the first take and they were laughing at the actual scene going on because it looked like genuine laughter from them too at the absurdity.
Yeah.
So Lily asks, well, let's hear more about this young man. So Marilyn goes on about him. His parents are dips, and Herman. Oh yeah, this is where I noticed he has the eyes cut out.
Yeah.
So Lily apologizes. She's like, "Look, the sheriff was a bit dense too." And Marilyn's like, "No, no, no, no. Excuse me. They're double income professionals, which means both parents are working. This is the
Yeah.
80s, so
It's progressive.
a lot of women going into the workforce even before this. The stay-at-home mom dream is, I should say my wife's dream is no longer a reality because everything costs more and more and more.
Is that what she wants to do? Just be a stay-at-home
She
mom?
would love to, yeah. We just can't.
Yeah. Our country has made it nearly impossible to do so. It's ridiculous. Like,
Oh God, yeah.
yet I know people who don't have spouses and are stay-at-home moms. I'm like, how the fuck are you doing it? Oh yeah, my taxes. Anyways, sorry.
So yeah, they're loaded. In other words, they own a beauty.
And I think I'm gonna start adopting that term. You're just a dip. You're a dip family.
Yeah, that's a term that disappeared before I was even born.
Hey, me and my wife are dips too, so who cares?
Yeah,
We're all dips.
Most people
I
are.
swear to God, I just saw like a spirit or something behind your head. Holy crap! I'm gonna watch that in playback. What is going on? It looks like there's something in your room.
What?
I'm just, I don't know. Anyways, let's get back to
me
the
out,
show.
man. I don't see shit.
Let's get back to the show. I'll send you the video if it shows up in the video, if it actually recorded. Holy crap.
That's fun. Well, now I'm gonna be staring at my camera.
All right, so yeah, they're like they basically come up with the idea of like, why don't you invite Dustin to the dance?
Well, did you hear what they do?
Who? Oh, the
Dustin's
parents, the parents, yeah.
The mom runs a beauty boutique, and instantly I thought of the classic episode where Marilyn and Lily ran a beauty boutique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They even sell futons in there. Herman's like, "Is that the kind for soup?" She's like, "No, those are croutons. These are pieces of furniture that pretend not to be." And didn't we have the conversation about futons during the bed and breakfast episode?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
That's just amazing coincidence. Yeah, you got me spooked, man. So Herman's like, "Well, what does the father do?" "Oh, he's a plastic surgeon." So yeah, these people are loaded.
Yeah.
Herman's like, "Oh, that's great. There's plenty of funny looking people in the world he can look after." And Marilyn gets this look on her face that I really wonder if they were trying to convey how they treated Marilyn in the classic show with the kind of comments, because it was literally out of nowhere and it disappears so quick.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about, man? Are you talking about me? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're referring to? My funny looks? Yeah, basically. Anyways, yeah, they invite Dustin to the dance, which actually Lily was about to say it, and then Herman just takes it over. He steals her thunder, and Marilyn gets super excited and everything, and then runs off with invitation. And then Lily looks at Herman and just is like, "You know what? You stole my thunder, old man. Like, can you please leave?"
Herman's like, "Boy, when this is fun. When can I eavesdrop again?" She just like, "Go hang yourself on a wall." Which is probably the meanest Lily has been to him in this show.
Well, she had her mother-daughter moment. I mean, it's not her like biological daughter, but basically Marilyn is their daughter. Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what Herman said when she ran away a few episodes ago.
Yeah. So I mean, he stole the mother-daughter spot. Next scene, we dive on into Dustin comes into the door.
The doorbell rings. Herman and Lily on top of the stairs, and Marilyn is in a dress. It's Dustin. He gets scared when the door closes behind him, but forgets when he sees Marilyn. He
Yeah.
asks if she's ready to go and bumps into Herman, who introduces himself. Marilyn says his parents are in the car waiting to take them to the movies. Lily won't hear of that and tells Herman to invite them in and introduces herself to him as well. His parents walk up to the door, confused about the state of things. They walk in. Herman introduces themselves. The door slams. Here comes the owl. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Is
they
this the
are-
same guy that played Dustin before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And they are Dr. Nelson and Dee Dee. Again, we met Dee Dee in the cooking competition where she was very unhappy to be back in the Munsters house in episode 1 of this show. Anyway, Herman says, "How do you do?" Or "How do you do?"
Which begs
shakes
the
her hand
question,
first.
how many episodes did they record before they even started airing this?
That's a very good question, actually. If we ever talk to any of the cast members, maybe they could tell us.
Unless they recorded like the whole season before they aired, but
That's not normally how they do things, though.
that's a big risk.
Yeah, they're normally like maybe 3 to a month behind with episodes.
No, it depends on the network and stuff, like the streaming stuff. That's usually all wrapped up, like the Marvel shows and stuff. But like things like where like the CW comic book shows and stuff like that, they were only like a few weeks ahead of the actual air date.
Yeah. Which is amazing, the turnaround they did on those.
I mean, look at South Park. They do it in 6 days.
No, sometimes they do it overnight. Have you heard some of those interviews?
Yeah.
They're like, we have a few hours before this thing airs. We need to finish it.
Well, no, they start from start to finish, like writing the story to recording to doing the animation, like a week. Like I watched the little docu that they did once about it for one of the episodes, and that's just like one of the episodes. I'm like, holy crap, dude, because they try and keep up with the most current things going on for South Park. That is, guys, sorry.
Yeah.
And like they're one of the only shows that really does that, I think, in real time that I can think of, besides like the live shows, you know.
Yeah, the topical late nights.
But as far as like animated and, you know, a show that's been on for so long, I feel they're the only ones that stay most current on events. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. So Dee Dee and the dad, I don't remember his name.
Dr. Nelson for now. We learn his name later.
Okay.
His first name.
Come on into the house.
It's Roger if you want to just use it.
Roger. There's Dee Dee is scared as hell. But Dustin's dad is loving it.
If you thought she used the term freak too much in the first episode, by the end of this one, I was so over it.
Yeah. His dad is very into this after he meets Herman, as the mom is freaking out. I'm just gonna say mom and dad. The
Nelsons.
The Nelsons. So she's freaking out and he is just loving it. He finds Herman to be fascinating as a plastic surgeon.
God, it's beyond fascination, dude. There's like love at first sight here.
Yeah, there is.
Because he's like, that's a face only a plastic surgeon could love. And I think he takes that literally.
Right.
Because he will not take his eyes off Herman in every scene they're together.
Yeah. Well, he probably wants to mess with them. And you notice they are wearing green.
I'm sure he does.
Do you think they put green on them because they're supposed to be rich and green symbolizes wealth and money?
Maybe. Could have just looked good, too.
They're wearing jumpsuits. It's such an 80s like rich person thing. Like the freaking jumpsuit thing.
It reminds me of was it Christmas Vacation with the snobby neighbors.
Oh yeah. I got one better for you, which we'll dive into as soon as we get through some of this part. So Herman and the doctor start going around in circles as the doctor is just admiring Herman's face.
Yeah, yeah. Dee Dee really wants to hurry up and leave and get
Yeah.
them to the movies and get their dinner reservations going.
Yep.
And Herman's like, nonsense. Have dinner with us. And
They
Dr.
can,
Nelson looks so happy.
yeah. They're like they can go to the
What?
movies anytime, and you guys can eat dinner here.
At this point in my notes, I have where has Grandpa disappeared to? And I'm so glad I did that because we're about to find out.
Yep.
So Lily's like, look, we just made rack of yak and there's plenty to go around. Herman says the kids can go to the movies anytime. They're fine. Look at them. By the way, I didn't notice the mummy. Was he there?
I think Dustin is sitting in his seat
So
because in the
no.
background this whole
Okay.
time, Dustin and uh
Marilyn are like
Marilyn
giggling.
are,
They're not even talking. They're just looking at each other.
yeah, but they're in the background. They're in that little room where the mummy was at before, just
Yeah.
talking and stuff.
So yeah, he asked Herman about his bolts. He said, "Are they prosthetic or
Oh yeah, the
practical
mummy is there.
something other?" Oh, is he? Okay. I
Yep.
was
I
really
just
looking this
double
time.
checked too. Yeah, the mummy's there. I think he's behind Dustin. Yeah, he's behind Dustin.
All right. So yeah, he's like, "Are those prosthetic or practical something others?" I didn't get the medical term he used. And touches Herman's neck bolts, which yeah, don't do that. We saw what happened when Lily did that. Um, Herman just says, they're neck bolts. And that's when the trap door opens and Grandpa ascends. Dee Dee notices and freaks out. Lily introduces them. Dr. Nelson asks if the cellar is where they keep the wine and spirits. And Grandpa says, nah, just spirits. Lily goes to get some hors d'oeuvres. And Herman asks if they want a drink. Dee Dee says she's just having mineral water. Herman's like, hey, that's my specialty. And then he leaves the two alone with Grandpa, which is a huge mistake. Sorry about that. Dee Dee tries to do some calming yoga, but looks at Grandpa, who smiles, and she freaks out again because his smile is creepy.
Yeah.
Over at the mineral water, Herman takes some rocks, smashes them into some cups, which I have to wonder, were that's just Play-Doh made to look like rocks or something? Because it went into those
I
plastic cups like nothing.
I think so, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool trick. Whatever it was, it looked awesome. And so he turns to him. He's like, "Here you go." He also sprays water in them, like the kind you see, like a clown using.
Yeah.
He's like, "Here you go, freshly squeezed mineral water." Dr. Nelson just keeps smiling at him the entire time. The dude wants some Herman, man. Then Lily brings out chopped liver that she deveined herself. Dr. Nelson tells his wife just to eat some, and we'll work it off in aerobics tomorrow. Clearly not hearing or seeing what food she's bringing out and staring at Herman the entire time. But I was wrong about that note because he says she just can't say no to chicken liver, which is a weird food fascination for anyone. Then again, my grandma loves squirrel brain, so who am I to judge?
Yeah.
Lily, she's from West Virginia, by the way.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Fucker.
Lily says, no. This is crow. Dee Dee throws it, and Herman catches it out of the air and eats it. That had to be some improv because that was amazing. Like, what are the odds?
Yeah. It looks good too.
I can't imagine they would take so many takes just to wait for him to catch it.
Right. Or it was on a string. Which I doubt though. I don't
He
see
ate
much.
it. So.
Yeah. So this is where the mom freaks the fuck out a lot. And this is where as she's like freaking out, Spot blows fire out of the stairwell.
Oh, we get a little bit before that.
Do we?
Yeah. Lily's like, hey, Marilyn, can you help set the table? But Marilyn just ignores her as they continue to stare at each other. Dr. Nelson's like, was that Dr. Blitzstein who did your, nose
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
And Herman's like, I honestly don't remember. I don't know where it came from. So Lily comes out with a pot of bones, then opens the cabinet. Eddie's in there covered in crumpled up papers as he's continuing to try and come up with his new headline.
Yeah.
She tells him, look, dinner's done. He's like, no, I can't do that. I'm on a deadline here. And Dee Dee just goes, they keep their kids in cabinets. But surprisingly, not the most freaked out she gets during this, as you said. She was very calm during that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they all sit down. Dee Dee tries to sit by her husband, but Lily's like, no. Over there. We sit boy, girl, boy, girl. That's stupid.
Well, I mean, do you want to sit next to your spouse or across from your spouse so you can see them?
Next to.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm kind of both. It depends on the people we're around.
Across from. If we're eating with family, next to.
Well, I mean, speaking of eating out, this is episode 69, everybody.
I already did that joke. So Dr. Nelson says they normally just throw something in the microwave or send out for sushi, which is gross. Grandpa asks what sushi is, and they explain raw fish. It's gross. Lily looks concerned and asks if they want them to dredge the moat for something instead. Dee Dee's just like, no, hey, Roger, I'm freaking the fuck out here. And this is where we learn his name is Roger, which I have misspelled here for some reason. Roger asks Herman if he wants to come by the club to meet some of his colleagues, but Dee Dee kicks him under the table, just saying, not the club. So, which, again, it goes back to that golf episode where they go get to the private,
club and everything.
Yeah, they win there.
Yeah.
And Lily's like, oh, we can't do that anyway. Sunday is their day at the park. They organize and save the snail day if you want to come to join us. Dee Dee just wants to send a check, but Lily says, look, we don't need money. We need volunteers. And Crap is like, it takes a lot of people to catch and tag them. Dee Dee just looks confused now. And rightfully so, I might add. Lily says, look, why don't you come to our dance? And he's like, no, we can't. We're very committed to this thing with the Historic Society. He's like, save the museum dance? And Dee Dee's like, uh-huh. So it's like, well, I guess we're going to see you more often. That's when she starts freaking out. Oops, I hit the mic again. I'm so sorry. It's the thought of spending Saturday together, and tells her husband to get in the damn car. He tells her, look, I'm interested in Herman, honey. I really, really want this green man. We can all tell.
Yeah, we can.
She then slaps her son real hard on the back and tells him to get in the car too.
Yeah.
And it looked hard. Like, I don't think Dustin's reaction is acting. She's like, Lily says, you haven't even started dinner. And she's like, oh, thank you anyway. We had yak for lunch. Marilyn says, all right, well, I'll see you at the dance. But Lily's like, no. You're taking the judge's daughter instead. Dustin's like, well, since when? Dee retorts with, since we were served crow on a cracker. Roger. Roger tells her she's overreacting. She says, overreacting? You put me in this awful spot.
Yeah.
And that's when Spot opens up to say hello. Everyone screams their head off. Herman is just laughing.
Herman just has this big laugh on his
I was
face.
going to say, was this him, John, like breaking character? Because he's laughing so hard at these people screaming.
Yeah, it was funny. And then
Yeah, so
that's when
Dee
she grabs the kid and runs out the door. And then the
Roger.
husband Roger's just like,
All right,
all right, well, I
bye.
guess I gotta go. Bye. And then he just runs out screaming too, just like her, just for no reason. All right, so
What a weird family.
real quick, this as I was watching this stuff here, this couple reminds me of Marcy and Steve from Married with Children.
Oh yeah, yeah. They definitely seem like the prototypes of those characters.
Prototypes. No, this was out after that.
What? Oh, it was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So maybe they're modeled after them.
Yeah.
Not modeled, written like them.
Written like them. Yeah, yeah. Or it's just a stereotypical 80s thing.
I don't know, but I gotta tell you, dude, Dee really.
But why is it always the woman that was the crazy one and the husband's just like into everything? Because in Married with Children, that's how it was. It was like the
I
neighbor,
wouldn't
like
say that
Marcy.
Marcy's crazy. She's a bit neurotic, but she's very justified in a lot of things she gets upset about, I think. Al is a very bad influence on her husband.
Which one? Exactly, crazy woman. And
Yeah. Do you have how they close the scene?
yeah, after the doctor runs out, Herman goes, "Oh, what a lovely evening," and Marilyn just breaks down crying.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
you got
poor
Lily looking
Marilyn.
hurt at the whole situation. Grandpa just confused why they're not eating, and Marilyn crying. And then at some reason they have the audience starts clapping at this.
Yes, I was like, why are we having a clap track? Like, what is this for? The applauding track?
Marilyn's crying harder than ever before, and they're like, "Yeah, all right, let's have a good time."
Yeah. So then we go to the next scene where the doorbell rings and it's
Commercial break.
Howie.
Yes, Howie's back. He says hi to the owl, turns to watch the door close. So clearly, this isn't the first time he's been in this house.
All right.
Of course, he freaks out a little, but why? Why is it? Why can we never have some neighbors who were just used to the Munsters? Like, why is everyone always freaked out by them? And this is kind of a little annoyance with me. I have with literally every Munster thing that's been made.
It's just everyone's freaked out about them.
Yeah, like
That's
they've
not
lived there for
true.
how long? You think someone would get to know them and be like, okay, they look weird, but they're nice people.
Right. Well, we saw in the movies that the the 90s movie, the first 90s movie where Herman played Herman.
Yeah,
In that one we saw that everybody freaked out or was mean to them except for
foreigners.
people of
Yeah,
yeah, foreigners and stuff like that, like all your minorities or whatever at that point in time.
yeah.
In that film were the only ones who just accepted them for who they were. And I you don't really see a whole lot of that within the shows, unfortunately.
No, and it's just one family that's like, oh yeah, and yeah, that's Herman, whatever.
Yeah. But maybe it
'Cause
was supposed to reference the uncomfortability people still had with people from another from foreign countries, because the Munsters are supposed to be,
foreigners, yeah,
immigrants
the
from
Transylvanian.
foreign immigrants. So maybe it was just a way of showing, like, yeah, we get it. They're like scary creatures or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But maybe it was also a commentary on the fact that, people were still uncomfortable around foreigners at that point in time still.
Yeah, maybe. It's just a little annoying to me. Just why can't
Like
there be one?
even Howie knowing them, he's still
Yeah.
very uncomfortable with it. Maybe it's like this weird, I don't know, man.
Yeah, Howie seems like he's still freaked out, like you said, but he seems like the only person so far who has just been like, okay, it's these people again. I know what to deal with. The
Yeah.
deal is. So yeah. So anyway, the door closes. He jumps a little. He says hi to the owl. Herman tells him, "Howie, relax."
Yeah.
Nothing like that from a guy like him to make someone relax, right?
And then he gets Howie on the couch too, which is really weird.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
he
he
like
gets real
hovers
close.
over him really close, and he's like,
I need a favor.
I need a favor. I need a date.
Yeah. And Howie jumps up and tries to leave, saying he doesn't date married men, but Herman just grabs his shoulder, yanks him down. He's like, no, 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 not for me. It's for Marilyn. Howie jumps up, saying, I'll do it.
The answer is
Pulls him down.
yes.
Yeah. He's, I'll pay for everything. Yes. Pulls him back down. I'll give you the keys to the hearse. He begins to answer again, but Herman like puts his arm on him before he even stands up.
I thought he was being hesitant because he said hearse.
It's like, oh, did they get the timing down here? Because then he jumps up, says yes, and gets pulled back down again.
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I don't know if this was intentional or just with like a goofy mess up that they kept.
Right. And part of me was like, is Shook just messing with this kid? Like, like I could push you around and all this other crap. Because then he gets up and Grandpa's there. Grandpa walks in and Herman like pushes him right into Grandpa. And then it's like two big bullies. Basically, he's pinned in between two bullies.
Yeah. Herman's tries to sell him on. So this is the first instance and only time that I can think of where they kind of hint at Marilyn looking different than them. Herman's like, look, I know what you're thinking, but she's got a great personality. And Howie just goes, dude, I'm saying yes already. I would consider it an honor to take Marilyn to the dance. And I'm a great dancer. So yeah, that's when he goes to leave and bumps directly into Grandpa, and he's like embracing Grandpa, and Grandpa's like, why can't you shake hands like normal people, Howie? So this whole, like, the whole family knows Howie by now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are we going to get more episodes out of order that are going to explain when Howie first met the family or something?
Well, I mean, you have the pilot, but yeah, we don't. No one ever saw the pilot, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Clearly, Howie is like a fellow student of Marilyn's, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's got to been around because, like I said, Grandpa and Herman seem to be like, yes, okay, we know you, Howie, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's when Herman comes up, smushing Howie between the two of them, and Grandpa just, I've given Marilyn a dance party partner, and Grandpa's like, cool. Why can't you do the same for Lily? What's wrong with me? There was a lot of things. And Howie, like, yep, a lot of things. Herman can't dance very well, which again, that was in the classic show, if you remember.
Yeah. Well, he had two left feet back then, and then they even referenced that.
Yeah, Herman can't. Look, it wasn't my fault that I was put together with two left feet, which is the first time the title has been referenced in the show, as far as I'm aware. Grandpa says, look, you need lessons. Herman looks down at Howie. I've heard of a great dancer. So Howie reluctantly agrees and holds out his hands to teach Herman. But Herman makes no move. So do you want to learn to dance or not? Herman looks at him. Ask me again, but nicer. And then he gets swaying on the spot. So Howie, it goes from looking nervous to annoyed faster than anyone on the show ever has. He's like, do you wish to dance? I thought you'd never ask. So he clamps his arms down upon his shoulders, causing Howie to buckle under the pressure.
Yeah.
And then they begin inevitably leads to Herman stamping on Howie's foot, forgetting what number comes third in the 1, 2, 3 part of dancing. Eddie comes in now. Oh, by the way, Grandpa's playing the piano during all this. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Eddie comes out of the
Yeah,
cabinet
you get.
wondering.
I had my mic muted. Fucking hell.
Oh, that's why I couldn't hear.
Yeah. So Eddie pops out of the cabinet from his writing, and he's like, "What the hell is all this
This
noise? I
racket.
can't
Come on,
concentrate." And
I'm trying to work here.
then the weirdest thing happens, where he's just like, "All right, Grandpa, let's go." Like,
Yeah, it's called music. That ain't music. Hit it, Grandpa. And then by the way, the music they were dancing to was like some kind of slow funeral march.
yeah,
And it changes to like some kind of jazz. And he's out there like getting down. And by the way, he does real well. Even Howie looks impressed.
yeah. I yeah.
You weren't impressed.
I was entertained.
But yeah, Marilyn comes out, sees what's going on, and takes a swing at one of them with, all right, which one is going to be taking me to dance? Will it be Bachelor number one? Looking at Grandpa, who he's, hey, no. Then he's like, Bachelor number two? And he's just like, no. And then they go to Herman, who does the same thing, waves. He's,
Yeah.
no. And that's when Howie steps out. He's like, Bachelor number 4, me, Howie. My hobbies are Renaissance literature, baseball cards, and hodgepodge. I don't know why I did that voice.
I was about to say, okay, Tivis.
I like Howie. I don't know why I did that. I got stuck in it and it wouldn't stop. So what do you say? Marilyn want to go? Marilyn's like, well, that's nice. But if it's not Dustin, never. And then storms off screeching never.
Yeah. Which
never, never.
I felt like this should have come back into play and been like, maybe you're a better fit for me because you're here and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm rooting for Howie. Screw Dustin.
Right?
So Herman taps Howie on the shoulder. He's like, I regret to inform you, I think that's a no. Gee, thanks, Herman.
I'm sorry, Howie.
Yeah.
I literally wrote in my notes, poor Howie.
Yeah.
Because she refuses to go with anyone to the dance.
But
that isn't Howie or Dustin, yeah.
Which I'm real glad that character is going to come back in the future because I love that actor. It's so cool getting to actually see him on screen, which is, I don't have a lot of references to that. And he's
actor
really good.
Summer School, dude. Watch Summer School.
I'll have to, yeah.
He's in that one.
So now we go to the dance as a couple walk in, and Herman puts a name tag on Lily. This looks very similar to the room they used in the cooking episode in episode 1.
A little bit, yeah. Just recycling the scenes.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do that every time we see this couple, because we only going to see him one more time. So Herman leads Lily to the punch where a couple ladies scurry away, yelping at the sight of him. Herman just, nice to see you. He's like,
okay.
What's up?
Nothing. I found this ending kind of lackluster, to be honest.
Okay. So yeah, we'll get to that. So he's like, should I take my flower off? And Lily's like, why?
Maybe don't show the hell up if you refuse to go with anybody. How about that, woman?
Haven't got there yet. He's like, well, it seems to be driving the women crazy. And Lily's like, that's not the flower, it's your handsomeness. Just very nice.
Yeah.
I love Herman and Lily.
The reaction between Herman and Lily in this scene is good. It's very reminiscent of when they actually loved each other in the original show.
Yeah, what the hell happened to that? No, I'm not gonna lie, I still enjoy watching Lily knock the hell out of Herman. That was great. But Whew. Okay, so
So you're into spousal abuse. Got it.
no, he just deserved it quite a lot in the old show.
That's what they all say. I just deserved it. Yeah, you're into
Herman was
spousal
not
abuse.
a good guy in
You
that
heard it
show.
here on the Munster Cast, episode 69. Tivis loves spousal abuse.
Write in. Do you think that's true?
That's
Am I a
cool. I
terrible
love it
person?
when my wife beats me off too. I mean,
Anyway, Dustin's parents
love
walk
you,
in.
Tivis.
Herman calls to them. He goes, "Howdy, Roger. Howdy, doo-doo." And I was not expecting that joke from earlier to circle around.
Yeah.
Dee Dee immediately begins just being irritated at the sight of them. Like, lady, get over it. They look different. Big deal. At this point, I was over Dee Dee, if you can't tell from my notes.
There have been several people who just didn't give a crap in this series, though, too, that the Munsters look the way they do.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, can you please stop?
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, can we just write a check and leave? And Roger's like, hell no. It's a big event, big names, and you're on the museum board. Plus,
yeah,
Herman.
right.
What were you saying about her?
I was gonna say, in the it wasn't there an episode when they did the ant company, the chocolate ants and stuff like that, the ant farm and all that crap. Those people weren't going crazy because of his looks. They just didn't want him there because they didn't want people taking over.
He was the majority stockholder, and they're like, no. Yeah, it's Dee Dee really got under my skin. So I hope not so much in her last appearance, please.
She will.
So yeah, the Munsters are like, so where's Dustin? And Dee Dee's like, oh, he's busy. He's a young man with a lot of stuff going on. And like, where's Marilyn? And Lily's like, the same, but more so. So she's clearly mad that this lady forbid Dustin from taking Marilyn here. And rightly so. Herman wants to check out the musty museum basement with Roger, but Roger just begins measuring Herman's face. And he continues to do so in the background, and I continually looked at them for hilarity. Lily goes up to Dee Dee saying how exciting it is that they'll be seeing a lot of each other now that they're both part of the historic society. And Dee Dee just runs over to her husband. Like,
and I couldn't tell if this was like her being sarcastic or not.
I couldn't either.
Like for Lily, sorry. Yeah. And she's just being a sarcastic person, being like, yeah, I can't wait to have to spend more time with you.
Screw you, lady. But yeah, so Marilyn walks in and Lily rushes to greet her. She's like, look, I know I've been really selfish with my feelings and this is important to you. So I want to be here for, you, for her aunt and uncle, basically.
You mean the way Howie wanted to be there for you, but you denied him, you little brat?
But it's okay. Dustin walks in at that moment.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
The two of them hold hands at arm's length for some weird reason.
She's no better than the other dips.
Dustin's parents walk up with trying to get Dustin's attention, waving their hands in front of his face, but he's transfixed on Marilyn.
Yep.
No succubus line. I honestly have here pause for Myke in my notes. Okay.
I hate Marilyn at the end of this episode because she denied Howie.
Yeah, Roger.
Or maybe she did that to protect Howie. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Roger's like, are you having a breakdown? Because honestly, at this point, I'm sick of the word freaked. She has a panic attack off screen or whatever. Good riddance.
Yeah.
Marilyn asks where his date is, and he says, I never bothered to ask.
Well, the mom keeps saying his name over and over and over again until she freaks out off stage.
Yeah.
Too. Because she's like, Dustin, Dustin, can you hear me? Dustin? Dustin? I'm just like, oh, mom, give it up.
Yeah. She's like, well, what do your parents think about that? And he's like, I don't know. Your thought, how you think is more important than what theirs are. Something like that.
What
I'm
did you
losing my
just?
words here.
Are you drinking, Tivis?
It's the ghost. He says her thoughts mean more to him than theirs does.
Okay.
There. Music starts up and the whole room begin dancing.
As
Herman clearly
Herman, yeah,
took some lessons, but gets a little too wild and begins knocking the entire dance floor off, around one couple at a time.
he's like one of those guys who doesn't know how big their body is as he's dancing around the floor. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, us bigger people need to know how much room we take up in
He
any
just
crowded space.
Yeah, he just knocks into a bunch of people, and
Uh,
then
dude,
that's
that
the end of
concert
that
last
scene.
week,
Oh yeah, you went to a
we were
concert.
packed in there like sardines. Like, seriously, if I was skinny, I would still be touching people. I felt so bad for the random people that were next to me.
Yeah.
Um,
So then
so
we
yeah,
go
now we're
to
back at home.
yeah, we're not back at home. They're looking for Eddie. Eddie's not in the cabinet where he's been.
Yeah, Herman's like knocking on the cabinet. He starts talking to him. Lily and Grandpa turn around and notice that he's coming in from the other room.
Yeah.
It's great.
And then Eddie comes out and tells them about his new headline. Herman Saves Museum with dancing something about dancing and Herman at the museum. That's all I gathered. I didn't write down the exact quote. Did you?
Let's see. Yeah, he's like it. First, Herman continues to talk to Eddie in the cabinet, and then Eddie's like, "Hey, no, I'm over here, Dad." And he's like, "Well, then who's in the cabinet?" And Grandpa just looks at him like, "No one, you idiot." Just a line I can't pass up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it says Herman Munster stomp slam dancing museum saved.
Okay.
Herman's like, anyone could have done it. And Eddie like embraces his dad as Lily looks at him proudly. Or Lily looks proud at the headline, and Grandpa is back to just looking bored. And that's the end.
Grandpa didn't have a whole lot in this episode. And Eddie howls like 3 to 4 times in this episode, which is interesting.
Yeah, he's back to actually howling. I thought I had that in my notes, but I must have skimmed over it.
Yeah.
It's not the clear, weird auto tune placement they had in the last episode.
Right. So, what did you think, man? We'll have you go first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dee Dee, by the end of the episode, I was just ready for her to disappear. Roger was hilarious for his first episode. The whole Marilyn Dustin thing is just I haven't cared for it this entire show.
Right.
Eddie working on his headline little subplot, that was fun. The little bit that he had, like you say, Grandpa wasn't in this a whole bunch, but when he did appear, it was great. Like when he smiles at them after Herman leaves him alone with him is so good.
Yeah. He barely talks too when he shows up, which is unlike Grandpa.
Yeah. There were some fun, little notes in this, like the tagging snails and stuff, and like
I
noticed some of the screen started going weird on me.
I don't speak drunkenese.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just kind of. This is like middle of the road episode for me, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, there's little bits and pieces that I enjoyed.
Right.
But overall, I think Dee Dee just ruins this for me. And also, I can't get over the annoyance that this is out of order. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't let it bother me, but it really does. Like, TV people, stop. Please stop.
It does set precedence for, like, her remarks in the very first episode. So
Yeah, and also when she's on the phone with him, just laughing, not saying anything. She wants to know what to take him for get him for their 1.5 week anniversary or whatever.
thank goodness though they got rid of the pig snorting though with her. I
That
don't
was
think I
such a
could.
weird scene.
I don't think I could have handled that for 18 episodes because she gets giddy all the time.
That yeah, that deadpan head turn highlighted the episode for me right there. Highlight.
Oh shit.
How about you? What, you have some strong opinions. Let's go.
I mean, I enjoyed the episode itself. Of course, yeah, out of order kind of sucks, but I just thought the ending was kind of lackluster for what they were setting up and stuff, and then it just seems like Marilyn's just into this kid because he's cute and has money, you know? And to me, I'm just like, that's like weird, man. Like Marilyn never cared about if the characters had money, really. I think that she just more so cared that they were into her, which is also still a bad trait, but still. um, but you have this kid there, like I guess I'm looking at it in a meta way because I like the actor who plays Howie.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll be perfectly
so yeah.
honest. If Howie wasn't in this episode, this would probably be my like bottom of the list.
Really? I
He
thought
saves it for me.
yeah, he's cool. I thought the Dustin's parents being there was kind of fun
I like
interaction.
Roger.
Yeah. You get to see that. Plus, it reminded, like I said, it reminded me of Marcy and Steve from Married with Children. Marcy Darcy, God, the stupid name. And then like Eddie's little dance segment that he gets like was kind of entertaining to me. I was like, oh, that's awesome. He's over there doing like a bunch of different. I'm like, did they train him or did they just say, hey, go over there and do something real quick?
Yeah.
And he just went wild with it. Yeah, it wasn't the worst episode I've seen of these, so and it made me laugh and I like when Eddie where does it say? Eddie busts out complaining of the racket and starts dancing like a crazy man. Yeah. I wrote down that I fucking laughed my ass off because I did. I laughed my ass off at that. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for that, man. What are we doing next week?
Next week we are talking about lights, camera, monsters.
Munsters. Awesome,
So,
man.
Are we gonna? Hopefully, we get another.
Hollywood
Herman
movie?
becomes a celebrity and becomes big headed because we haven't had one of those in this version of the show. And
Do we need them? Do we need
yes, there's a reason Rob Zombie kept it in the movie. It's just iconic.
It's a big part of Herman.
Oh, I hope that we get another costume for Herman. I love those.
Yeah.
Because I know there's more.
Yeah.
There's always costumes for Herman. It's always fun.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited to see it. I'm sorry that we might have rushed through some of the stuff today, guys, but
it's an episode.
Yeah.
I don't think we have. We've been going for almost an hour 20.
I've been very like worn out, so I don't feel like I have the energy. I'm not sure if I'm giving off those vibes though to y'all. So if I am, let me know.
Well, you've been busy.
I want to make sure that the energy level is stayed up for y'all. So
hear that? Mike wants to be up.
69 dudes.
I'm so sorry, audience.
It's from Bill and Ted. Guess the number that we're thinking? 69 dudes. It's in Bill and Ted, the very first Bill and Ted movie when they meet themselves at the gas station. When they first meet Rufus.
I know what you're referencing.
Okay.
This is the earliest we have ever recorded one of these. I want to also say, so our energy might not be as high.
Oh no, that's fine.
Like we started at near 7:30 in the morning.
real quick too, I also did want to toss back out there the idea for people that you can go and see Marineland Carnival on Tubi. There should be a post on Instagram this week if there isn't already one for it. So go over and watch Marineland Carnival over on Tubi, guys, and check that out, and let us know what you think about that if you haven't seen it yet.
And a reminder, if you missed it last week, again, we should have said this right at the top of the episode. Oh well. Munsters is leaving Peacock. No word on where it's going.
Nope.
We're kind of confident that it'll end up at Netflix eventually. We don't know how long, but if you want,
it was there before, yeah.
Well, that's where the movie is too. So I'm kind of thinking maybe they paid for it. Who knows?
Maybe.
But the movie did top their charts a couple times, even though, regardless of what people continue to say about it, it is a fun movie. And if you haven't watched it,
okay, Tivis, get to the point, my man.
You could follow our affiliate link and purchase the box set, and we get a literal pennies out of it.
Yeah,
it helps support the show, or go pick it up at a local store near you. Help support local businesses. But
yeah,
it's a great box set. We haven't advocated for it in a long time since we left the original show, but it is an investment worth getting if you love this show. And I truly hope Universal gives us that with this show. Eventually,
I'm sure down the line we will get something. But if you guys do want to pick up the original box set, just go to themunstercast.com/munsters box set. And again, if you guys want to check out what we have going for, or what we've gotten anyways for the Munsters Today, just go over to themunstercast.com/watch the Munsters Today, and you'll be able to check all of it out right there. So any final words? Anything else?
I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you thought of it. Did you struggle with it as much as we did? Did you enjoy it a lot? Is it one of your favorites? We love hearing this stuff. So please
Definitely
send it in to us. Our email, YouTube comments, Facebook, whatever. Thank you for continuing to join this ride with us as we get closer and closer to the end of season 1. We only have 6 episodes left. All right.
Yeah, something like that. Awesome. Well, with that said, guys, we will catch you next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.